Incidents Overview.
This is an overview of Incidents, the central application for Cal EOC 360. Incidents allows users to access all other applications and records related to an incident. Once you're logged in as an operational area, click on the Incident app. That will take you to a list view where you'll see the default listing, Recently Viewed. Click on one of the incidents in the list view to go to a Details page. This is an incident detail page showing all the widgets along the right column. The top part of the detail overview section shows 3 tabs: Details for overview information shown here, History of all changes made to this incident record, and Notable Activities, a list taken from the activity logs. Next is the overview information, the incident name, operational area, the level from monitoring to levels 1 through 4, the stage, which might be active, response, recovery, a stage of financial recovery, or closed, and an activation level, activated or not, exercise, training, or planned event. There's also an event type chooser and text box for a brief description of this incident. Below that is a section for the incident period, when the incident started, and if known, when it ended. Scrolling down the page, the next section covers the location of the incident. There's a search bar to look up addresses or locations that are named, and several fields to help identify the location of this incident from state or zip or city, street address, or for locations without a street address or are very specific, the latitude and longitude coordinates. Below the location information is the originator details. The system fills this in based on your login information, but these fields are editable in case you're filling it in for someone else. The last section, System Information, is logged by the system. Remember that this system keeps a detailed history of all changes made. Create a new incident. Clicking on the New button, upper right corner of the list view page, brings up a new incident window. Here are the same sections described earlier. At the top is the basic incident overview information, the name, operational area, stage, activation, and event type. When you create a new incident, the recommended format is to start with the year, then the month or time frame, what kind of incident, then add your OA at the end. This might look like 2025, early February, winter storms - Lassen, or 2025, January, wildfires and wind events - LA. Next, choose the relevant types of events, then click the right-facing arrow to move them to the chosen column. Add a brief description in the text box, scroll down, and add the incident start date. Note that those little red asterisks indicate these are required fields. Then add your location information and hit Save.
Adding files.
At the bottom of the details page, as on many other pages, is a field for uploading or adding a file. You can drag and drop a new file or use the Add Files button to upload and find and attach a file that's already in the system. Widgets. Along the right column are widgets for other apps that make up the Cal EOC 360: initial damage estimates, proclamations, EOC schedules, activity logs, local shelters, EMA requests, and after-action reports. They offer brief linked overviews of up to 3 documents in each application's window. Each widget's header bar also has a button on the far right for creating a new document in that app. We'll cover each of these apps in other videos. Printing. You may remember from our navigational overview video that the action buttons for all applications are in the upper right corner. For incidents, there's also a printable view button that will open a new browser tab with a print-ready view of that incident information. Of note, the printable view will also include a summary of documents listed in the widgets for that incident. Let's take a look at this on the site.
This is called the main page. This is the main community portal. So I'm going into this one. Go to App, and I want to create an incident. This is recently viewed. What if I don't want to see recently viewed? I can go to Cal EOC 360 Incidents, and I can see lots of information here. If you're looking at an incident, you're just pulling in and somebody else gave this a start, or day 2, if you're in day 2, day 6, whatever, then you will see all of this information. So there's details, history, and notable activities. Here's what that looks like. It's pulling from everyone's activity logs here. So this is the list. And if it gets to be a long list, you can go View All, or you can click at the title here. But here's the details. The detail view is it's in active stage. We're in activation level training. It's level we're monitoring the earthquake incident period. We're starting today. And then we want to make sure to put an incident date in. A couple of notes. This is active now, but when you're all done, please change this to recovery or response or something, and then talk with recovery. They can close this event. The same thing with the end date here, incident end date. When the earth stops shaking or when the fire is put out, please put an end date in here, and that'll help keep your information current. What type is it? There's a place for a little bit of a description here. The incident period, as I mentioned. Location, if it's very specific, you can put in a latitude and longitude. If it's a little bit more general, you can put in an address. If it's really quite general, like this one, this is big earthquake, then you can put in just the location or the state and then work from there. The originator details is interesting. The system grabs who it is that signed in and it puts that information here, but it is editable in case you're filing for someone else. And then the system information, as I mentioned, the system is really good at tracking who's doing what, so it saves this information when you hit save. Additionally, you can put a file into this incident. So if there's a contract that's associated or a photograph or some other information, you can upload files or drop files right into this area, and they'll be associated with that incident. And then I mentioned those widgets in this incident because it's well developing. We've got a couple of initial damage estimates in here. We've got some proclamations in here. We've got an EOC schedule that has one item in it, activity logs, local shelter information, EMA requests, and we have a couple of after action reports in here. If you have questions, please let us know at rsi.support@caloes.ca.gov.